It is indeed. We welcome to the program here in the Element Wealth Studio, set up in 2 Mississippi museums, Representative Fred Shanks. He is the representative for District 60, which includes Rankin County. Representative Shanks, always good to see you, sir.
Absolutely, Gerard. I'm glad to be back.
Well, we had elections on Tuesday. I don't think there were a whole bunch of surprises. Let's talk about your race. Are you one of these people that went in uncontested?
I was.
That either means you're doing a great job or nobody wants your job.
That's true. Probably the latter. But it was nice. It allowed me to help out some of my colleagues and get involved in some of the other races, and glad to do that. So.
Yeah. Well, I made the rounds on Tuesday night, visiting some of the watch parties, as they call them, and in some of those races, Attorney General Lynn Fitch, that was called early, Lieutenant Governor Delbert Hosemann. Went to see our friend Mike Cheney, the insurance commissioner, visited him. He was at the Hall of Fame Museum in his group. And then headed over to Governor Tate Reeves' event in Flowood at the Sheraton at the Refuge. That one didn't get called by the AP until around 11:30.
That's right. I was there as well, and good turnout, and we could kind of see where it was going. So I think I cut out around 10 o'clock.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, went to the house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, I ended up staying around. I wanted to talk to the governor a bit about some stuff going on the economic development front, and he was good enough to have a conversation there. And I think I stayed till about 12 or so. Yeah, there were still folks running around.
I had to go to the Waffle House. Just so you know, that was what was on my mind at the time. I think I feel good about it. I'm going to the Waffle House.
Did they have waffles?
They do.
Okay,
they do. And that's what I had.
Did I ever tell you that I went to one a few years ago and they said, by the way, we're out of waffles. I said, wait, it says Waffle House.
I'd have went home. I'd have just left.
There was a bunch of money poured into the race at the top of the ticket for governor.
It was staggering.
About $20 million.
Yeah. And, it looked like it may have gone to a runoff at a certain point, and I could not imagine how much money would have went in during a runoff.
Oh, man. They'd have poured it in.
Yeah, I was very shocked at how much money was spent total. It was mind-blowing.
Yeah. I'll have to say that Mr. Presley, during the campaign, he didn't hold back on any given day, either he or the Democrat Party in general, with the vitriol and the rhetoric blasted at our governor, really just dressing him down every single day on every possible matter and issue you could dream up. But in his concession speech on Tuesday night, I thought it was respectful. I thought it was the right tone and conciliatory in that regard. And so my hat's off to him on that.
Yeah. I know Brandon, and he's a good guy, and he's a great retail politician. He really is.
He's excellent.
He's that guy that can hop up, do a stump speech, kind of like yourself, just hop up and knock it out. And he did really well. And, he was very cordial about it. And, it'd be interesting to see, where he goes from here.
He goes now. I don't think he's done.
I could get on board with that. I could see that. Yeah, could be in the administration somewhere, the Biden administration.
It's true. But think about it. He's been in politics his whole life. He's been an elected official going back to mayor of Nettleton. I think he said he was 23.
That's right. That's right. He and I are the same age. We're both 46. So he's got half his life invested.
So he wakes up and he doesn't have an office. An elected office, and
that'd be hard for a politician.
I would think so. Someone of his sort that has worked his whole life in that realm. So we'll see where he lands. I do think there's a possibility he may get called up by President Joe Biden, especially with, you have to admit, it was a strong showing in the race. It came down maybe about where a lot of people predicted. I heard people, I'm sure you did too, that were just guaranteeing a runoff.
Yeah.
Did you hear some people saying that?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely guaranteeing, no doubt about it, going to be a runoff.
Yeah. Heard that. Most of the little, text group with other politicos I'm in, we're in some of the same. We kind of all had it, pegged around, 51, 52, 53. So, it kind of had it pretty squared away.
And that's where it went. So the governor, I thought, did a great job in his speech once the election was called. And it's pretty much touted his record of success over the last 4 years, and then turned his attention to the next 4 years and talked about what we got to do. And that also goes for you guys in the legislature. A lot of your colleagues will be returning. There are a few that won't have elected to retire or what have you, but in a couple that just didn't make it through the process. But in general, the big thing in your situation is a new Speaker of the House.
We're looking forward to it. Philip Gunn is a good friend and has done a fantastic job, and I'm a big fan. I'm going to support him in whatever he chooses to do because I don't think he's done either.
Yeah.
And but it's going to be a different take on things. Kind of fresh blood. Yeah. And Jason has a totally different leadership style, and it's real optimistic to kind of see where things go. I think everybody's looking forward to it, and real excited about January.
Yeah, I do too. So we were talking earlier about this article that I penned on PERS, and that's been published now at SuperTalk.fm. Lots of folks have asked for a link to it. You know, and as do your colleagues, that this is a problem that you guys are gonna have to address. You're not shying away from that. I think that'll likely get on the docket pretty early as far as business that the legislature takes up. Do you?
100%. I think it will be probably our biggest issue. Now we will have all the big issues coming up, but that will probably be the most hotly contested. Everybody's emotions get involved. I mean, we're not going to we're just going to be talking about it. We're not going to reinvent the wheel. And we actually had some talks that it really didn't get out last session.
Right.
So we knew it was something. I mean, we're there to do hard work. Yeah. And that's one of the things that we're going to be tackling first. And I think that'll be coming right down the pipe. In January.
Well, I hope in the article I kind of framed the issue. That was my goal, was just to say, look, here's what it is. Here's the program, and sort of described it. Here's how we got here. Here are the options. Okay, let's start talking about it.
That's right.
That was the goal.
That's right. So. And it was well laid out. And, some of the things in there that, we have talked about, and it lines up. And I encourage everybody, everyone involved in PERS to read it.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah. And much of the information, of course, they were the source. So I got information from DFA, and I got information from PERS as well. And then they're just a multitude of other sources and other organizations that produce content on public employees' retirement systems across the country, because they're all facing challenges and economic headwinds. What else is kind of on your agenda? What are you seeing as a priority in the coming session, coming term?
Well, by the way, on PERS, I think we'll put you on the committee.
Oh,
How about that?
Okay. All right.
But no, I think I think school choice will pop up. There was a little discussion about that last session, and then in the off season, it's really gotten talked about quite a bit. I think that'll come up. And then Medicaid expansion. That's
well,
coming.
Healthcare in general.
Absolutely.
In general is something we got to address. I want to say something about school choice. I'm a huge school choice advocate and have been blessed to work with Empower on their board since the inception of the organization. Here's the way I think we got to get school choice. I'm going to say this on the air and for your benefit as well, Representative Shanks. I think we focus too much on the benefits of school choice and not enough on addressing the objections to school choice. Yeah. And what I mean by that is we can talk till we're blue in the face to people that are either on the fence or object to school choice about how great school choice is, and it definitely is in my view, and it's the right thing to do. But we've got to really assuage their fears to make sure they understand school choice is not about harming anything that's working. We don't want to change anything that's working in public education in the state of Mississippi. We want to address the areas where it's not without that being done at the expense. Because there's a lot of people that believe, we're going to have the students coming from the F district nearby just going to flood the A district.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
That's not what this is all about. And we got to work on that.
Yeah, just messaging. Yeah, and that's one of those. If you're predominantly in the public education side of things and you hear that term, it scares you. Yeah. And you're right. I think it needs to be. All those things need to be discussed.
They start jumping to conclusions in their own mind about what it is, and it's not accurate, and then they oppose it, and it's just hard to overcome that. So I hope we can work together to. No, we want to straighten the record out here.
Yes.
Of what this is and what it's not, rather than them just going off on these narratives that opponents just start to put out there that aren't true.
That's right. I mean, you get these organizations on both sides just, kind of picking a fight.
That's right. All right. Well, we appreciate you coming in, Representative Fred Shanks. We're down here at 2 Mississippi Museums, and I'm sure we'll be seeing you around some more, Mr. Shanks.
All right. Good to see you, Gerard.
Good to see you. Coming right back, folks. Stay with us. The Element Well Studio in downtown Jackson at 2 Mississippi.